Okay, so here it is, the ultimate form extension for Mobirise, and it works in versions 3 and 4. For the demonstration here we're going to use version 4.4.1, which is the latest version. Okay, so first of all you need to add the extension to your Mobirise program. So you go to Themes Extension, Import, and then browse to your extension wherever you downloaded it to. And click open. You'll get the message to say that the extension has been added, and it will be added to your extensions here. Okay, it includes reCAPTCHA. It also includes file attachments, and it also includes a date picker and optional selectable fields, all of which can be made required or not required. So once we're into Mobirise, we need to add the form to our page. So you go to Extensions, Forms, and you will see the extension here. So you drag it onto the page, and there is your form. Now you'll see you can edit the text. So let's make that bold. Okay. So now you can see we've got all the fields, possible fields on here at the moment. So when you're creating your form, you go to the blue cog, and you can choose then whether you want to show the title, whether you want to show the text. You enter your Google reCAPTCHA key here, and that's the public key. The private key you will add to a little file that comes with the package, and just upload it to your server where shown. Then you enter the email address that you want to send your form to. So let's enter that. And at least one of the emails here must be one on your domain. If you want to send it to more than one recipient, then you just enter a comma and the second email address, and if you want a third, then you would enter a comma and another third one. That will send it to all of those email addresses. If you want to send a copy to the submitter confirming their submission, then you click that on. If you don't want to, you obviously leave it switched off. Then your site name, this will appear as a thank you in the copy to submitter. So we'll call this just Demo Ultimate Site. Okay, then if you want the phone to be, the phone must be on the form. There are 3 fields or 4 fields that must be on the form, and they are your name, email, phone, and message. So they always have to be on the form. But you can make the phone not required or required. So if you don't want them to have to enter a phone number, then you can make that not required. Whether to show the subject field or not, and you'll notice that if you unclick it, the field disappears. Then you can decide whether you want that to be a required field or not. Then again, the same with the mobile field. If you don't want it to show, then uncheck the box. We're going to take the subject off here at the moment. Then whether you want to show address line 1, which is there, and all address fields will be down this side, other fields will be down this side. So if we want to show address 1, leave it on, and if it's required, and show address line 2 field, or again whether it's required, city and town field. So we're going to take off all the address fields here for the moment, because we're going to make this a very simple form. So take off the address field. Oops, took the wrong button there. Take off the city, take off the county, but we'll leave the country. And then postcode zip, we don't want to show that. So they're the only fields we want to show on the left hand side. So now whether we want to show the company field at the top there or not, we're going to take that off. Then you've got your message or comments field, which has to be there and it has to be required. Then whether you want to show the gender field, which is they select either male, female or preferred. If you don't want that to be on there, if it is on there, it's always required. If it's not on there, then obviously it's not required. So we're going to take that off. Then whether you want to show the date field. So in this case we've called it date of birth, but you can make that anything you like. So if you want it to be date of appointment, then you just type it in date of appointment and you'll see that's now changed in here. So we're going to leave it as date of birth. And then the date picker format, so how you want the date to be displayed. And there's details of all the possible formats in the user guide. In this case we're going to show the day, Tuesday or Wednesday, the date, the 3rd, the month, August, September, October. Small m's will be just 03, 04, 05, and the year, 4-digit year. And you can do that as a 2-digit year if you wish. Then the start date that you want them to be able to select from. Any dates prior to that date will not be selectable. So as a date of birth, and they could be up to 100 years old, could be even more, but in this case we're going to assume that nobody that's going to fill our form is going to be more than 100 years old. So we tell it to start dates from 100 years ago. So that's minus 100 year. And then that will automatically advance by 1 day each day. So 100 years from today, then tomorrow it'll be 100 years backwards from tomorrow, and so on and so forth. Or you can enter a specific date in there. If you wanted to start from 03-06-1922, then you could enter the date in there. If you wanted the date to start from tomorrow, because you're going to take bookings for appointments, then you would put +1D. If you wanted to start from yesterday, then you would put -1D. If you wanted to start from a month's time, then you would put +1M, and so on and so forth. And the details are in the guide. Then what date you want the dates to start from. So here we're going to assume that we only want 16-year-olds to enter a date of birth, so they've got to be over 16 and under 100. So we put -16 years as the end date, so then they have to enter a date of birth that makes them 16 years old up to 100 years old. Okay, then you got the date pick maximum view. Now the views can be showing at day level, at month level, at year level, or at decade level, or at millennium level. So the options here are 0 to 4. So 0 would be day level, 4 will be millennium level, 3 would be at century level. Sorry, at century level, yeah. And then what the start view is. So the first view they see when they click the box. So that could be the day level, it could be the centenary level, and so on and so forth. Again, details are in the user guide. And whether it's a required field or not. Then you can set whether you want them to fill in their website URL. We're going to say no to that. We're going to make this a very simple form. So we'll say take that off. We don't want them to show the Facebook URL, and we don't want them to show the LinkedIn URL. So now we've got a nice simple form here. Then we come to the upload attachments, and here you can either show the upload attachments or not. So if you unclick it, then they will disappear. If you click it, then it will appear. So in the preview in the program, it will only show upload, but you'll see that it will actually show a placeholder and somewhere to drop files when you actually publish the page. Now we can set the maximum file size that you want them to be able to upload each file. The minimum or the default is 2 megabit, but you can set it up to 40 megabit. But that will depend upon your host and what your host has set the maximum upload to be. Most hosts will be 2 megabit as standard, but there's details in the guide on how you can increase that on your host. I recommend that you don't make it more than about 20 megabit, because you're going to start filling up your server fairly quickly. But 2 megabit is big enough for many files. And then how many files you want them to be able to attach, and that can be anything from 1 to up to 6 files. So we're going to leave that on 2 for this little demo here. Now you will also notice that when you change these, so if you change that to 3, then the 3 changes in here. You can upload up to 3 documents. And if you change it to 6, you can upload up to 6 documents. So that will reflect what you've selected here as well. And the same thing for the file size. Underneath this box, you'll see there's a file size. There are 2 megabit is set at the moment. So if we set that to 40 megabit, then that will change to 40 megabit in there. So that does that automatically for you, so you don't accidentally forget to do that and tell them one figure and then set the upload to a different figure. So that's easily done. And then whether you want to show the accept terms or privacy button, and again that will disappear if you say no. The links here you can edit as normal in Mobirise, so won't accept the terms HTML, but you could put your own terms in there, and whether you want to open a new window. And again, for the privacy policy, the link is set at the moment at privacy. Okay, so then you can change the color of that, of course, if you wish. So if you want that to be red, you can have that one red, and that one red as well. Oops, that didn't change, did it? There we go. And of course you can change the color of this as well. Okay, so again here you can change the color here if you want a different color, and the alignment, and also of course here as well. Okay, so the button here is controlled by the color here. So if you want the green button, you can change that here. There we go, to green. Okay, so there's our form. In addition to the field options, you can also set a background image if you wish, and you do that in the normal way in Mobirise. As usual, Mobirise is showing every image to be exactly the same. They need to fix these problems, and as you can see, the same images keep appearing everywhere. That's a big bug in Mobirise. So we've set our background image now, so we could then change it to parallax, and we can change the color of the overlay. Let's make a leave on black, and we'll just make the opacity a little bit. There we go. And then we can change the color of our title and our text. And then we'd want to change the color here probably to white. and we probably want to change that to white so it shows up nicely. Okay, so we've got our form, and our form is all set up. Now when we publish the form, all the validation for the form is all the code for that is added automatically. The PHP code is added automatically. Everything else is added automatically. So you don't need any HTML knowledge or whatsoever, and you can just simply publish your form. Now, in addition, you can change some of the custom CSS without unlocking the HTML editor. You'll see it here. So you can change the send button's background color from here if you wish, rather than use the site, and you do that by just simply adding some CSS. So let's background color blue, and you can use names, you can use the color codes, etc., whatever you want. So we've changed that code, and now you see we've changed the whole bar across the bottom to blue. And if you want to change just the actual green bit, then we'll take that out and we just add submit. Oh, well, typing here, what's going on? Hash submit button. Background color blue, and we end up with not working. Something, what have I done wrong? Got an extra thingy there. Copy it. There we go. And then we got the submit button is now blue. And you can change some of the other CSS in there as well if you wish to shift things around. You can change your title to different font or font size and so on from here. Okay, so we've got a form. We then publish it. Okay, so here's a demo form we've uploaded to our server. We've kept it nice and simple to make for this demonstration, but here's how it all works. So for example, you would enter a subject, or the user would enter a subject, their name, their email address, their telephone number, their city and their country. Okay, then they would enter their company name and their message. Then we come to the if we then try to submit the message, you'll see we've got to select a date and we've got to accept the terms and privacy. So we'll accept the terms. So we enter the date of birth. So first of all, that starts off with the centuries here. So we go for 1990. Sorry, we want to go a little earlier than that. So you'd enter your date of birth, the month and the day, and then the date of birth is then entered into the box, and we've chosen the format to enter the day, the month, the year, the day, the date, the month and the year. Now we come to the upload. Now you can upload multiple files at once, or you can add them one at a time. So if we want to upload a file, so say we want to add this image, and then you get a small preview of the image if it's an image file. If we wanted to upload some more images, so let's upload 2 more. So you can multiply select, and then you can see we've now got 3 images. We've set it to a maximum of 3, so if we try to upload another image, we will get a message to say the maximum allowed files are 3. If we try to upload one that's too big, again we would get a message to say it's too big, and so on and so forth. And if we try to upload a file that's not a allowed type, then again we would also get a message. But the browser will filter it into the allowed supported types. If you select all files, so then it goes outside the selected the allowed types. So if we try to upload an exe file, you can see is not allowed, allowed extensions are, and so on and so forth. Okay, so now we've added our files to send, we've completed the form, and we now click the reCAPTCHA, and we can now send the message. Okay, the message has now been sent. Now for this particular form, we've asked it to send it to 2 different email addresses, and we've also asked it to send a confirmation to the submitter. So if we have a look now and see if they've arrived. Oops. Here we go. So there's our file with there's our 3 attachments. You've received a submission from your website form. So it's today, Wednesday the 8th of November, from Steve Richards, for the email address, the subject, the message, phone number, city and town, the country. That's now been fixed in the later version. The company, date of birth, attached files, and the sender's IP address, and from what page the form was on. So that's the that's gone into the junk mail. This is the confirmation that was sent to the submitter. So let's just move that. Okay. So there we go. So they get a message with a subject line copy of your submission to the Ultimate Form test site. You submitted the following data. These are the details you submitted: the name, the email, the subject, the message. It doesn't send the files to them. It's your country, date of birth. It just tells them what the name of the files that they sent were. And then thank you for your submission from the team at the Ultimate Form test site. And again, it tells them what their IP address was and what page they sent it from. So there you have it. There's the form. That's how easy it is to set up. And hopefully you will enjoy it. Okay, have a good day.